Hey everybody, welcome to the webinar. I'm Bailey James and I'm joined by one of our favorite developers here, Justin Daniels. And we're both really excited to show you our newest tool, Compliance Center. I'm gonna start with a quick overview of why we created Compliance Center, and then Justin is going to follow that up with a live demo. This webinar will be recorded and sent to you within the next 24 hours. So if you get interrupted for any reason, or if you'd like to review it later or share it with somebody in your office, you'll be able to do that really easily, and we'll be adding it to the Tenstreet website as well. Also, you can submit questions anytime throughout the presentation by entering them into the text box under the questions section in your GoToWebinar panel. If for some reason we're not able to get to them right away, we'll address questions at the end of the webinar. So one way or the other, you're going to get your questions answered. Okay. So before we get to the live demonstration, I want to talk a little bit about compliance as a whole and what we're trying to do here. If you've ever had to deal with compliance at your company, you know that it's complicated and diffuse. Constantly shifting rules and regulations touch all the different aspects of your business, which makes it really easy for key legal issues to hide in the shadows. It can feel like a scavenger hunt to track down all the ways your business can risk violating a law. And the stakes are high. Failing to navigate this confusing landscape could end in you closing your doors forever, more than likely over something that seemed irrelevant at the time but could have easily been avoided. It can be a little unsettling when you stop and think about all the things you might be missing about an already overwhelming topic. So it's because of this challenging quest to keep up that we created Compliance Center. We know that compliance can hit you everywhere, and our solutions are incorporated everywhere within a tele-app, Express, and Exchange as a result. Compliance Center is one centralized tool that places all the separate pieces of compliance in front of you so that you can tell at a glance where you're compliant and where you aren't. It's your roadmap to a legally sound business. Here at Tenstreet, we talk a lot about compliance, and it's with good reason. Tenstreet is the only software company that has a product like this or puts this level of focus on compliance. We care immensely about keeping up with the latest changes and building our tools so that it's as easy as possible for our users to stay compliant. Compliance Center puts everything compliance related right in front of you and all in one place so that you can easily see where you stand on compliance issues related to adverse action, IntelliApp, recruiting, processing, providing, marketing, and safety. So with that being said, I'm going to kick it over to Justin so he can show us how it works.
Hi, everyone. Just a moment and I will take over the screen here and we can take a look at what it actually looks like inside of your dashboard. All right. So from the dashboard, you can navigate to your tools section under Express. And there you'll find a link for the Compliance Center. Click that open. And all of you should already have this loaded up in your system. And we went through, this is a newer interface. You're going to see a lot of here as we keep going, as we keep improving on dashboard. This is one of the ones that is updated to a newer look. But let's go ahead and let's just start about the adverse action section here at the top. First, I'll show you that there's an adverse action section, an IntelliApp, recruiting, processing, and providing. So I'm trying to give you in marketing and safety and BQF, and then that's pretty much all of the sections. So as we find more and more use cases of things we want to place into this, we will add more and more of these cards for you guys to look at, and that'll largely be from your feedback. So feel free to tell us what you like and you don't like, or what you would rather have explained better inside of each one of these sections. Conglomerating all this, aggregating all of this information into a single screen is, you have to make some decisions on what you can actually place on the screen and show to people. So we went through a lot of decisions on this, and as Bailey said, this is high priority at Tenstreet. We put a lot of development time into just compliance items that sometimes you guys just don't really get to see. So this screen's a little bit of bragging rights on some of the things that you just you don't get to see all the time that we feel really strongly about, because the DOT, as you know, is pretty strict on a lot of this stuff. And for you, we want you to get in front of items that are happening at your business before they start happening to you. So, for instance, on adverse action, this says letters waiting to be mailed. This, if you guys are not doing adverse action, you should probably contact us, and we'll walk you through what you need to do to get started there. But if you're doing adverse action, you know that lots of it can be emailed, and then there are some that cannot be emailed. California and Pennsylvania cannot be emailed under our system. And if you can contact us at any time, and we'll get you the information on those. That's the very first card. So letters emailed. So in other words, this 78 here, this means that you've got 78 letters that somebody needs to be stuffing envelopes and flicking stamps on and sending out the door, and they are waiting. So those are ones that you got to get out the door to be compliant. A lot of clients miss this. It's not that hard to overlook. Letters emailed, well, this is a development view here, so we don't have a lot mailed, but you would show here. Now these graphs go in time of 30, 60, and 90 days backwards, and most of them are, some down here you can see are labeled in that way. But these little sparkline graphs they're just here to kind of give you a quick visual about whether something, like if this one's hitting the ground here, it's like, wait, I haven't emailed any letters either. Well, you probably better look at that too. Why haven't I emailed any letters? There's not a whole lot to click into on that section, but for instance, you can click in to get more information on the adverse action settings here. And this is going to tell you how you have your setups done for your pre-adverse action letter. For instance, this one is allowing a file type of background check MBR. It's showing you here's an email from address. Hopefully you're not receiving emails from me on your adverse action. Excluding, this shows you that you're excluding for your exchange. You're not sending faxes or OEVS. And how you're sending your outbound for your post adverse actions, because there's two. There's a pre and a post. Again, we would be happy to tell you all about adverse action letter. This is something we get from clients from time to time. It's like, wait, what am I supposed to be doing with this? And this is hopefully a section that can help start that conversation and help guide you through getting yourself compliant and making sure that you're hitting all those nails that the DOT wants you to hit. So that's the adverse action section, where we feel strongly enough about it. It got its own section. Intel app. I'm sure all of you know what the Intel app is. Again, if you see any more information sections, you can click on this. This is the ban the box section. We get asked all the time, where are the locations that would be applicable for ban the box? And don't screenshot this one because this is not the full list. But when you look at it in your system, you will see the production list. But this is zip codes here that are you would end up skipping inside of the Intel app if an applicant entered in those zip codes. And we try to tell you what those zip codes apply to here, like 100 is New York, 101 is still New York. And those kind of tell you what you can, sometimes clients ask us, why did this guy skip the crim section? Well, he's in the ban the box. How can I see where the ban the box locations are? You can now come to, there's two places, but you can also come in here to Compliance Center now and get that information. If you're PSPs, this is another thing we've done here is we've set the PSP. You can click here to learn more about the PSP program. If we have good blog entries on this that we've already added into the system in the past, we're going to be more than happy to point you back to these blogs that we spend a ton of time building and making sure that they are giving you good information as well. If you guys haven't read our blogs, you probably should. And if you needed to find one about PSP and find out whether it's right for your company, this is a great place to start. And you can always just click the contact us from these as well, and it tells us that you are wanting to talk to us about PSP, and we can get the right people in front of you as quick as possible. But again, that just kind of gets you into those sections of information. If 1681 is not implemented, here's some more information. Again, here's another link. What is the 1681M and why is it important? I got to be honest, I've been working with 1681 for almost all year long, and I probably could not tell you to the level that some of our experts like Shannon Wheeler here could tell you what the 1681 means for you. I can tell you how it works in the code, but I can't really tell you how that works for your business. I can tell you that it is important. We're going to tell you in this section at a high level, you just don't have an implemented period. Maybe I should contact you guys about that, and we would love to talk to you about that. So I don't want to go through every individual card. I think you guys are starting to get the idea. I do want you to just see a little bit more of it here, since we have some time. This is consumer copy requests. You guys may or may not know what consumer copy requests are. They've been on your HTML of your applications for almost 13 years now, where for Minnesota, Oklahoma, and California, the applicant can request a consumer copy. And we record those. They're on your applications. And what are you supposed to do with those consumer copies? We're not real, maybe you can ask us, but some of those we're going to end up pointing you towards others that can help you. But these are meant to drive some questions, and we'll be happy to point you towards where you can get those questions answered for Intel App. And for recruiting and processing, this is Exchange. Unfulfilled outbound requests for 30 days. That means you, in this instance, 2,000 are out there waiting to be fulfilled. If that was 0, you might not be doing your verifications of employment, and you might not be doing them through us, and that would be expected to be 0. Gaps at 100%. Well, yeah, that means nobody's doing them right now because this is a development system. But these numbers would help you as you were looking at how are my processors doing across the board. You would get some numbers here that would help kind of guide you in your decisions here. Subjects with positive drug verifications, for example. That's just a guiding number. Here's one place you can get this information without having to go hunt down 5 reports and pull all of this stuff separately and look at it. Okay, so then there's other stuff in here too. I don't want to bore everybody to death with every single card's information. This one's nice though, the email opt-in percent and the texting opt-in percent. Hey, at an overview, that's just nice to know, especially if you guys are using texting with us. So, while we got that this was a great section, I think the best piece of this section that we put in here is the ability to actually get in front of the people that need it in a timely manner. So what we did was, and you're going to see this action section up here in the right corner where my cursor is. You're going to see this more in our system as time goes on, as we keep improving dashboard. We're trying to get all the actions that could be done into a section into a single location. So whether this can be printed, whether this can be exported to CSV, and the one that we're really excited about is email this. So this entire screen now can just be emailed to you, and you can set this is you as the user logged in making this selection. You could say, you know what, I want to see it every day. I think I'm good with it every month, and let's see it on the 15th. Okay. So on the 15th of the month now, you're going to receive this section in a mobile-friendly email that you can view every card here on this, and you can just kind of scroll through it and look for the ones that you know that you're looking for and that speak to you as a problem area. But mostly, and we're going to do this for a lot of sections going forward. This is just the first place we actually implemented it. So we'd love to hear feedback on whether you like this idea, you hate it after you used it, what's wrong with it, what's great about it. Feedback's good. We decided to put this in for you because we figured that your compliance people probably don't want to log into this every single week and come take a look. And if they did, they might forget by week 13 and stuff gets dropped through the cracks. So we're trying to make this easier for you as a consumer of our product to get to all of this wonderful information. Okay, I don't think we have anything more to show over on this, Bailey, if you want to, if anybody has questions or wants to take back over here.
Sure. Thanks, Justin. We did get one question of someone wanting to see how you get to the Compliance Center, so if we could go over that one more time, I think that'd be helpful.
Sure. So it's from starting from home. It's Express Tools. Then in Tools, you'll have in your Tools menus, you'll have Compliance Center right there.
Awesome. Okay, so if anyone else has any questions, please do enter them into your text box. In the meantime, I'll let everyone know that if you want to know more about compliance, we have an adverse action deep dive that's happening on December 20th, and we will be posting the registration link in the chat of this webinar. Leah's just posted that, so if you want to register for that, you can. We'll wait a little bit longer to see if we have any questions. Yeah, but thank you, Justin, for showing us how Compliance Center looks.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Okay, so we do have one more question. We have a couple more. Let's see. So for the processing of DA positives, can it link to the applicant? This would help to be sure that we know and report any necessary DOT information since reported from another employer.
Maybe I should read that one. Can you read that one to me one more time?
Sure. So for the processing of DA positives, can it link to the applicant is basically the question.
Oh, can it link to the applicant? Not today, but we'll take that under advisement.
Great.
I can see that as a more info section if that's something that really helps you guys out.
Mm-hmm. Here's another one. Someone says they don't have the Compliance Center in their tools section.
Okay, we'll take a look at that too. As far as I knew,
yeah,
that we had already rolled that out to everybody.
Yeah, it also might be because right now Compliance Center is just showing up for primaries. So if someone wants additional users to be able to see that, you'll have to contact your account manager.
That's a good point. Yeah, so we can turn it on for any one of your users that you're on your dashboard. But yeah, it does default on only for primary users.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Here's another one. In order to add cards to the Compliance Center, should we contact our reps?
Yes, please. We took a pretty good first pass through here, but the users at Tenstreet are what really make it great with the feedback that they give us, and like especially on my card, like I would like to see this metric. We may not always say yes to them, but we look at every single one of them, and we do a lot of it from feedback.
Yeah. Another question, does the Compliance Center track documents also, like CDLs expiring, physicals, etc.?
No, we're leaving that in the DQF product for now.
Okay.
If we might do something like that though later, I could see that being really something nice to have, that you wouldn't have to set up 2 different like email alerts to yourself for those types of things. It's a possibility.
All right. Okay, that's all we have for now. Thanks so much to everyone for coming and to Justin for showing us Compliance Center. We really appreciate it. And we hope you also register for our Adverse Action Deep Dive. I think that's going to be really helpful. And just keep checking back into the Compliance Center because we're always going to be making changes and adding new cards. So it's going to be a good place for you to see how compliant you are. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thanks, guys.